Dude, Tesla pissed. Okay, I don't know if you guys saw in the group. I swung like $63,000 worth of Tesla. I woke up late. I need to stop doing that because tomorrow's gonna be crazy. Like today, I missed a whole move on Amazon when I could have like tripled my account or whatever. But it's okay. But I did. I swung Tesla. I didn't know it was gonna gap up after hours, which is good because I woke up. I woke up at around 8, and I woke up. I was up like 330,000. I'm like, oh shit, okay. But the fact that I have a group to run and people are like, oh, I don't have any signals. So then I was looking for trades, and then I saw this flag, right? This flag I made it longer, but if you guys can see this flag, I had it up to like here, right? I had it up to like right there. What do you guys think I did like as soon as it went up over the flag right here, right? This is when that's when I entered calls. I bought more. So I bought more and then it faked me out. It literally faked me out. And so the thing is, where do you think the ideal stop loss would be for Tesla if you had entered where I entered earlier? Like, let's say, I entered right over here, right? Assuming you guys all have the same indicators as I do, where would your ideal stop loss be? Your ideal stop loss should be in between the flag right here, right? So when the price gets around here, that's your ideal stop loss. But me, I didn't even sell. I didn't even sell when it went down here. And there's no excuse to me not selling. I ended up being down like a shit ton, but obviously it went back up. I got lucky today. It went back up, but I didn't sell here because of the simple fact that I woke up. Here's the thing: I woke up 30, right? As soon as I entered this trade, that 30 turned into 20, and then it turned into 15, right? And then how do you think, how would you feel if you wake up and you're up 30,000 and then you start trading and then now you're only up 20,000? What is your initial like response? No, I know, yeah, yeah, you get pissed, right? You want to lock no, but my answer is like I want to make back. I want to make it back. I want to get back to where I just was. Does that make sense? Has that ever happened to anyone where you're like, I'm up 10, you're up 10, stock goes down, and you're like, fuck, I need to get back up to 10, right? So it wasn't really the revenge trading that I did, but I entered a trade for the sake of hold on. I entered a trade. It's kind of annoying. I entered a trade just for the sake of trying to get a signal out, trying to get a fire trade out, and boom, it fucking backfired on me, right? But I held through the whole thing. I held it back here, and then I cut at like a $5,000 loss. But that's not the point. The point is, I should have cut in the middle, right? So when you see a pattern next time you trade, and if you're trading before the breakout, you should always cut in between the pattern or when the EMAs or when the moving averages start to cross the other way. Okay. Let's look at Amazon. Now, Amazon is going to be fucking crazy tomorrow. I'm going to tell you that. Can anyone guess why it's going to be crazy tomorrow? I have the yearly chart right in front of me that you guys can see.
It's filling in the gap.
It has a gap to fill to where?
Back up to the highs.
Of where? Which high though?
3,600.
Around there, right? It can fill that gap, but you guys gotta also see, right? We always, whenever we have a run within, just think of this. I'm sorry, you can't really see because of the blue, but this whole thing, this here to here, that's a range. That's all a range, right? It keeps going. If you really think about it, right? Up, down, up, right? up, down, up. Now we're on the way up again, right? But for the most part, every single time we retest this every single time we go back up, we're always gonna have to retest what first? 3,500, right? 35.24 at least. We barely tap, we didn't even tap 3,500 today, right? So now what I was gonna teach you today is, you guys know how history repeats itself, right? History always repeats itself. Now, I hope you guys get what I'm about to say. Now, every single time when you guys see this, Amazon's always retested 35.30, right? 35.30. Let's make this purple. I'll make it thicker. It's always retested 35.30. Now, how are we gonna trade it tomorrow? What you have to do is, what I do is, I try to go back in time and see the price action that led up to the breakout and eventually to the retest. Does that make sense? So what I mean by that is, I like to see the previous price action that led up to every single time it broke up this way. So I'm talking about, so if we just do this, I gotta delete everything. Damn it, I gotta clear it. Okay. By previous price action, I mean this. Right? We had a bull flag, and then we broke out, we retested, right? What about here? What did you guys see here? Okay, so here's the difference. Here we had a bull flag and we had a breakout. Let me move this. It's getting in the way. Okay. Here we had a run. We had a big run up, a big bull flag, and a retest. Boom, retested, right? Here we already had a run up, and we retested. Okay, so what is the difference between these two here? What is the difference between this one and this one? Is what I'm trying to get at. Are they the same? Yes, no, maybe so. They're about the same. So my whole thing is, we had a big run, bull flag, breakout, profit taking. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, this is profit taking, right? Because of all this, of this whole up move, right? You gotta understand, this thing went from 3,000 all the way up to 3,500, right? Over here, same thing. We had a big run up. And then we had a what? A profit taking, right? And then obviously we broke through. Here, this is the same thing. We had a big run up here, right? We had a big run up and then profit taking. But still, this level is still a very critical resistance, right? Sellers, there's so many sellers up here. But now, what about the recent price action that's happening over here, right? We had a little bit of a run, right? Followed by a sell-off, followed by another run, followed by another sell-off. Now, my whole thing that I'm trying to explain to you is, was there chop in, okay. Was there more chop here, or here? Which one of these previous price action has the most chop? This one, right? The one that we're looking at. Am I right? We had no chop here. We had a straight up, straight up pattern. Boom. We had straight up. This is chop. So this is going to be our bull flag here. Does that make sense? This is going to be our bull flag here. So this is going to be the what? How many times have we tested? One. Realistically, we tested, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, whatever, that many times, right? But realistically, when you compare today's price action and the day before, right? And just this whole week or past 2 weeks in general, right? Going up to finally us about to break out. Do you think tomorrow or Monday it looks more clear for us to clear the gap finally to the upside? I think that it looks better now for the gap to clear to the upside because a lot of our indicators as well, they're all aligning together. Does that make sense? We have the momentum shifting up, right? What did we also have today that is very significant to what might happen tomorrow? We had a lot of volume today, right? If you see the volume bar today, we had a lot more volume than we had last time going in, right? We had the same amount of volume as the time before. We had more volume here, but the reason why we should not care about this was because we already had an initial run. We haven't really had a continuous run on Amazon. We've just been chopping, right? So tomorrow, the reason why I think tomorrow might be a crazy day is because tomorrow, that's when I think, at least we're gonna hit 35.50. Right? I think we're gonna hit 35.50 and even fill the gap up tomorrow on a Friday, which is fucking insane, right? But one thing I want to tell you guys is tomorrow you have to be careful about these moves because they'll try to fuck with you with the 0 days. Like literally, they'll try to fuck with you. Give me an example of how Amazon might run tomorrow, but before it runs, it can fuck with you. Amazon can just drop right at the open, or Amazon can end up being choppy for 3 hours, killing your theta. Does that make sense? So you don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow, but just know that a big day is coming, and it might be tomorrow. That's why I wanted to do this class today early, because I wanted to show you guys that tomorrow might be the day we trade Amazon. Now, 0 day can be fucking amazing or it can be completely trash. But I know a bunch of people that are about to send their accounts tomorrow for Amazon. 35.50 calls, yeah. Let's look at the 4 hours. Okay? Let's look at the 4 hours. Now, looking at the 4 hours, which of these now I'm gonna oval all of them. And this is how I like literally determine which trades are good to take or not. So let's oval all of the times where it's tried to break out. Okay, which one of these 4 looked the most promising? Okay, let's just pretend the rejection never happened. Pretend these rejections in the past never happened. And let's say you had a line in the middle, and let's say this was an occasion, this was an occasion, this one is an occasion, this one is an occasion. Which one of these 4 occasions looked the best for it to break out of this this blue line? Would it be the first one, the second one, the third one, or the fourth one? You guys think it's the fourth one? Yes or no? Why is the fourth one? Why does the fourth one look better than the last three? I'm gonna explain why. So with the fourth one, number one is there is no profit taking to be taking place right now. Does that make sense? There is a lot of profit taking to be taking place here because of all of these buyers coming in here, right? There's a lot of profit taking to be to happen here. And then there's a lot of profit taking to happen here. Is there a lot of profit taking to be happen here? No, because we didn't move in a straight line. Does that make sense? We moved in a straight up line here, here, and here. But we didn't move in a straight up line here. We ended up chopping, right? So the fact that we ended up chopping, when do you think the earliest time was that people got into this trade? When do you guys think the earliest buyers were for Amazon right now, for this specific breakout? Because if you looked at the first three, right, people probably bought here, people bought here, people bought here. But the earliest time was like yesterday, right? Just imagine this. Just think about it like this. How much? What is so from 3,000 to 3,500? That's a $500 move. From 3,200 to 3,500, that's a $300 move. From 3,200 to 3,500, that's a $300 move that people caught. Now, people barely entered at 300, right? People barely entered at 300. So if you really think about it like this, right? And this is where it'll make sense to you right now. So if I make the zone, right? These are buying zones. What the hell just happened?
Are you better?
I hear a baby. Okay, does that make sense? That makes sense to you guys, right? The demand is getting higher, right? The demand zone is getting higher and higher and higher. So just because we don't have a full trend going up, but our swing lows are getting higher and higher and higher. Does that make sense? Now, the fact that our swing low is getting higher and higher and higher, what do you think is happening to the demand? The demand is increasing, right? And what do they say about resistances? Like, the more times the resistance tests, what is it? The more times the resistance tests, the weaker it gets. Right? The weaker it gets. So what we're trying to say is the resistance has been getting weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. So tomorrow shouldn't be a problem for this to break. And once it breaks, it's gonna go fucking bananas. Right? We're talking about 3,700. We're talking about $1,000 into 100,000 with no fucking problem. Right? Let's look at Tesla. Yeah, we're trading this live tomorrow. Tesla is just fucking insane, dude. Tesla is just monstrosity. Look at this, dude. Tesla is just, I don't know where this ship is going. It's going to, at this point, it's going up Pluto, not even the moon anymore. I think they're gonna do another stock split, but Amazon is the one you want to trade tomorrow. Look at this. This looks beautiful. Like, I hope you guys see what I see. This thing like gives me a hard on. You guys have any questions? I'm opening the floor. How do we reset? I don't know how to do that. I gotta ask Brett. It's so with Amazon, dude, guys, once we break this Amazon level, Amazon is going to be nonstop for like 2 days. I think going into Monday, we're gonna have a strong open. That's why I'm kind of saving my buying power for tomorrow. But Amazon, I took a play on Amazon today too. I took this dip buy today on Amazon. Does anyone know why I bought Amazon here? I mean, guys, if you want to put your life savings on Amazon tomorrow and you don't mind losing it, go ahead, because I've seen someone turn 20,000 into like 950K on Amazon in one single day. But we'll see. I'm not recommending that. These types of, and here's the thing, here's the thing. This is why you should be thankful you're in this game, because like you can literally change your life with moves like this. You do have to have some balls. That, I mean, yeah, it requires balls, but you have to risk to win, you know, you have to risk it for the biscuit. Like I use my 10K account that I use is it's like at 170 now, but I risked 65K of that yesterday on Tesla calls. Was I scared? Yes, but was it a good thing to do? I don't know. But all I know is I'm using profits and I'm not risking the whole thing, right? So, and this is how you're going to be able to get over the fact that you're risking a lot of money, is to, like this, okay? How do you overcome fear of, okay, if you're scared of being on a roller coaster and you've never been, how are you going to overcome that fear? By going on it, right? By going on it. So how are you going to overcome the fear of losing money? How are you going to overcome the fear of holding a trade? You have to just do it, right? You have to do it. So it's not like you're it's not like you're just gambling. You're not gambling here. Like, this is like educated gambling for smart people, basically. But what I'm saying is, how many of you have missed out on moves that you know you should have got into? This is one of those, okay? So if you don't enter this breakout, whether it happens or not, then you're gonna fucking look back and you're gonna be like, I'm a fucking idiot. Literally. If everyone else here gets in the trade tomorrow or Monday and makes money, and someone here doesn't, then I'll buy everyone's flights to go to that guy's house who didn't get in, and we all get to slap you once in the face. Like, one from me, one from Nicholas. This is from Carlos. you know. But what I'm saying, I'm trying to help you guys out because once you take a risk and you see the reward, you're gonna thank yourself. Not because you're gonna fucking end up going stupid again next time, but you're gonna have that confidence that you need to keep going, you know? Because if you keep living in fear, literally, if you keep living in fear, you're gonna stay in this little fucking bubble and this little box, and you're never gonna grow into the beautiful flower that you should be. You feel me? I didn't even bank on Amazon right now today. I'm pissed, but I still made like 20 G's. You know, I could have made like 100, but it's okay because there's always tomorrow. Okay, see, there's always tomorrow, but make sure if you don't risk it today, you put that risk out next time you see something good. You know, the whole thing about, and this too, people say they cut their profits too soon. The whole thing, I think the whole thing about cutting profits too soon is derived from an experience of losses. So when you experience a lot of losses, you get scared. You get more and more and more scared the next time you get into a trade. Therefore, you're gonna end up cutting your profits earlier because your subconscious is telling you that, hey, last time this happened, man, you lost money. Last time this happened, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So every day is always a new day. You know, don't compare today's to yesterday. When you start living in the past, you're literally gonna keep reliving it. Not even reliving it, but it's gonna happen to you again and again and again and again. What else should we go over? You guys understand why Amazon is a good move, right? So next time you see something like this, right, on any other name, then you need to make sure that you get in it. NVIDIA, I heard NVIDIA was gonna do something crazy with the metaverse. NVIDIA too, I was just thinking about NVIDIA before we did this class. I was like, dude, am I too late to NVIDIA or is this just getting started? You know what I mean? Do you guys know, does anyone know if NVIDIA's ever done a stock split before? Someone look it up real quick.
Yes, they have. They did a 4-to-1 split.
They did a 4-to-1 split. Damn. See that thing that
Ben.
but it's like, you know, this can, because the thing is, right? And this is how I think. Tesla with the whole, you know, self-driving electric company deal, that's their field that they dominate. Right now, NVIDIA, if the metaverse is going to be as big as it should be, then there are going to be companies that are going to dominate in that field, right? And NVIDIA is going to be very fucking important when it comes to the chips. So for NVIDIA, I think that I already have February calls on NVIDIA, but for the most part, because we're intraday trading, I'm not even gonna the thing is, for intraday trading, I'm not even gonna look at this to trade for tomorrow because remember the market. The market. I don't know if you guys know this, but the market is literally ran by intraday traders for the most part. You guys know that, right? The way the market moves every day, it's kind of by intraday traders. Not every day institutions are buying fucking stocks. You feel me? So a lot of these moves that you see every day are happen by us, people like us, you know, or institutions and their high frequency trading. But when it comes to stocks making big moves, they usually make their big moves during earnings, or they usually make their big moves after hours or pre-market, right? So if I'm looking at this from an intraday perspective, I wouldn't even touch this until I see. I don't want to have a bias on where this is going to go tomorrow. You know what I mean? Because this thing's already ran from 211 to 300, you know? I am bullish on it though. So tomorrow, I think we might get a little pullback, but for the most part, just like everyone else here that thinks, you know, about NVIDIA, I think it is going to keep going up in the future. AMD. AMD too. Did we talk about AMD here? And AMD finally broke that high. I think AMD can keep running. I remember when AMD was a fucking $20 stock. I remember when it was still at $16. No comment on AMD though. CRM, IWM, IWM. Who said this? Justin. Good find. Yeah, this looks really good. This looks really good for tomorrow. Do you guys, okay, Justin, since you mentioned IWM, do you know what stocks kind of carry IWM? So IWM is an ETF, right? So what stocks, what are the main stocks in IWM? Let me look this up. What are their holdings? 20% healthcare, 14% industrials, 14% technology. Top 10 holdings is AMC, BlackRock. But remember, these are the top 10 holdings, but they only, you guys know they only make up 2% of their whole assets, right? But they're heavily in, they're mostly in the healthcare sector, industrials and technology. Okay, so what this tells you is, so if an ETF is doing this, right? When an ETF is forming this bullish pattern, does that mean that the stocks within this ETF is bullish? Or bearish? It's bullish, right? So when you see IWM like this, yeah, you want to trade IWM, but you should be able to pinpoint which stocks is causing the ETF to move like this. Because, for example, if SPY moves $4 because of Amazon, how much do you think Amazon moved by? Just a wild guess. There's no right or wrong answer. A lot, right? Let's say it's like, let's say Amazon moves $300 and SPY moves up $4. Would you rather have gotten in SPY, or would you have rather gotten in Amazon? With Amazon, right? So the same thing with this, with IWM. You have to try to, that should be your homework for the day. You guys should try to pinpoint which stocks it is that's causing IWM to move like this. Because if you can catch that stock, you're gonna make way more than the ETF itself. Because you gotta remember, ETFs are, it's weighted for all of those names, right? Right? It's not like all of these names is gonna be fucking bullish at the same time. There are gonna be names that are gonna be red. But for the most part, since maybe one or two are the ones that stick out the most, that's causing this type of move to happen, you should get into the stock itself and not the ETF. Although you can trade the ETF, I'm just saying, right? Freaking United Health might move $300 tomorrow, and IWM moves up $2. You're like, oh, IWM moves because of United Health, but you could have gotten into United Health instead. You know what I'm saying? Affirm. A lot of chop, but it's bullish. Damn, that's crazy. What the hell? I think it's bullish. It's just, listen, this is like a headache. Like, don't you guys think if you were to swing this, you'd have the biggest headache of your fucking life? One day you're up, one day you're down. One day you're up, one day you're down. Roku. Roku is at its damn. What happened? Okay. Watch Roku too. Roku's at a demand zone. I would buy Roku here. I don't think it'll go any lower. That's crazy if it does. I would bet on Roku to go up. Because if Roku was to go below 265, I think it's bye-bye. I think Roku's gonna go like bankrupt or something. Oh, you guys know that companies go bankrupt, right? I know some of you guys aren't, like, you guys know that era, the what is it? The internet bubble. Do you guys know how many companies went to shit? Thousands, hundreds, right? So I'm saying this because I like to think about the old days too, and kind of compare it to now. I think sometime in our lifetime, we're gonna see some of these big names just collapse because, for example, what does Roku have to offer that Netflix can't offer? Or what does Roku have to offer that Google can't already do? Does that make sense? Because the reason why people have Roku is people buy Roku because some people have shitty ass fucking TVs that doesn't have Netflix on them. Does that make sense? Nowadays, if you buy good TVs, you don't even need a Roku. So we'll see. What does NIO have to offer that Tesla couldn't do? What does NIO have to offer that Tesla couldn't do? It's a matter of preference. It's like what does Toyota have that freaking Honda can't do? It's a matter of preference, and the market is huge. But when we're talking about streaming something like Roku TV, this and that, as technology gets even better and better and better, I wouldn't be surprised if Roku goes to shit. If they can't come up with something else other than a Roku stick. I don't even have a Roku stick. But that's just food for thought, because we're looking at Roku right now and it's just like going to shit. Question, is that NFT you have yours for life? Yeah, it's mine for life. I'm trying to sell it for higher though, because some people bought apes for like $1,000. And they sold it for like 150K. My friend made like 170 grand. I literally bought mine for 160. So someone made money off of me. Let's look at one more stock. Snap. Why did I want to buy Snap? I wanted to buy Snap because it's at the demand level. So only in time, it should go up. Right there. We're still consolidating in these demand levels. We did want to shit though, not gonna lie. So One more name you guys want me to look at? Nah, this isn't a bear flag. This is not a bear flag. Neo. Neo is new too. You guys understand? I look at Neo as like a really new company, and I think Neo looks good. I mean, look, you can see that it's forming like a bear bull flag here. But I think in the long run, if you buy like February calls, if you buy February, March calls, and if the fundamentals itself looks good, it's gonna start getting upgrades from analysts. It's gonna start getting upgrades and upgrades. And once they start delivering cars, people are gonna start buying. Because you gotta understand too, how many of you believe at some point in the future, electric cars are gonna take over everything? You know, if that happens, then you gotta understand some of these companies that have been around for so long won't be around anymore because, like I said, because of preference, right? People like what they see, you know, and sometimes people like buying into new cars. Like for example, like Tesla, right? Tesla's been around for years, for like what, 10 years now? It's fine. It's literally barely getting recognition 2 years ago. So I think Neo is still new. I think, you know, if you want to make like long-term gains, I would start buying 6-month, 1-year calls on Neo. Cybertruck 2022, that shit is ugly. All right, so what are you guys excited for tomorrow to trade? Amazon. This is gonna be the one tomorrow. Look, okay, look. Even if I delete everything, is the swing low getting this? Is the swing low even getting higher or slow? I mean, lower. At the end of the day, the swing low is getting higher, right? We're in a crazy ass fucking range. Amazon just needs a push from like analysts or like it needs something needs to happen for Amazon to go. And I think tomorrow it can go. Because look, the range is only getting tighter and tighter, right? If you look from before, look, well, this is what I'm going to end with. If you look from before, from the bottom of the range, for it to hit the top of the range, how many candles does it usually take? So here, so look. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and now 1, right? So it's getting tighter. So now Amazon something needs to happen to Amazon. I think we're gonna see some good news on Amazon tomorrow, but we'll see. Did you guys learn a few things today? All right, guys, make sure you make your watch lists for tonight. Save your capital for Amazon tomorrow for when we trade it. And I hope everyone here makes fucking bank tomorrow on Amazon because we all need it. Yeah, we're going to send some signals out. Of course we are.
Record.